Hi, Elizabeth.
Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi. Say hi.
All right, so just to get us started, the CSC application was submitted July 1st, so a day early. Yay. So we're waiting to hear on that. Yes, great job. And we did hear back from the CEC side of it, and we have 700 points now because our PACE financing got approved. So we have, PACE and unit, the solar.
Huge.
Yeah. So those are the newest updates. Oh, and we have a banner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just picked that up today. It looks really good. So I don't know if someone wants to come pick that up or how you guys want to work that, but it's in town hall. It's in our office.
I could swing by tomorrow if you wanted.
Well, ideally, we'd want to show it. Do we want to show it at both the Saturday Friends of Parks and Rec event as well as Sunday's Eevee car show? Because you're not going to be at the Saturday event.
I'll be at
least
it
early on, right?
Right.
Bob?
I can't join till like 10:30, probably 11 o'clock.
Because I'll be there early for setup.
I will actually be there as well. I'm going at 8:30 and stuff. So
All right. So why don't you just bring it?
Perfect. Okay.
That works.
We'll do it that way. Sarah, I don't have anything to hang it with. It has the 4 holes in the corners.
And
So-
those are grommeted, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. So if you have rope or something.
Yep. I've got rope. I've got bungee cords. I've got, you name it.
You've got everything.
What else do you want for Saturday? Because we have Shabir is dropping off the Yorktown 100 banner tonight at my house. If you needed it for Saturday morning, I could drop it off to you.
Yep. Or tell him to drop it off at my house instead.
Well, I don't know. He's going to be here.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I don't even know where he lives, but so you want that then?
Yes, please.
Okay.
We want, both organizations to be visible to the community, and we'll be at the same table with Sustainable Westchester. So I think that's a really good look. And of course, they're a major sponsor of the event.
And I have the trifolds should be printed. They're printed now. I just haven't picked them up yet. My second iteration of printing them. So it's probably better that way because I can pick them up tomorrow morning. And then if you could do me a favor and just text me your address again, I know I have it somewhere, and I can just drop the banner and maybe, pile of the trifolds off for you.
Okay, will do.
Swornov, you're on twice on this.
Yeah, it's Keith.
That's probably me. That's probably me.
Oh,
We look nothing alike. Don't worry about it.
We can't see either one of you. So.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We look nothing alike. Trust me.
Well, now you have 2 of us, but I have nothing on my side other than we are now going to have to gun for silver as the next step. So that's the next sprint that we need to start planning for, picking out which actions the town can do that we can move us forward on both our climate goals and the points goals. And I'll also be starting to look into some of the documentation and a couple of the CEC actions. And as I gather more information on that end with Kira and with Robin as well, I'll start circulating that to you guys so that we can continue to move on both applications and not only be a clean energy community, but also a climate smart one, as the state would like to call us. So that's really the updates from my side. I guess these couple of weeks are going to be more of a sit back, relax. Let's keep our fingers crossed that the bronze comes through, and as soon as we get status from New York State, with what I'm very hopeful that we will get positive remarks back, we can start the sprint with fresh eyes.
I would also like to add that what I would like to do as soon as I'd say Matt is ready, we did all this work, or I certainly put a lot of effort in the greenhouse gas inventory for the town. You guys recall police cars, for example, take a huge amount of fuel. We looked at the pumping of water and wastewater. I would like to see if we can start using that to meet with folks in the town. I'd be glad to help Matt and maybe educate people or what the right way of going about trying to help them understand their emissions and what they might be able to do to drive it down. I'd love to have your thoughts on that, Matt, on how to use that effectively to really drive reductions. I'm glad to get a certification, but it doesn't make me very happy. What makes me very happy is seeing actual reductions.
Yeah, no problem. I can tell you that we just last Tuesday, authorized a budget transfer for a new police car. The police car is a hybrid police car. So I think it's already helping. I think you're already seeing the impact on our decision-making process. And then also we're trying to update our fleet policy. And I've made it clear to my staff that the priority is EVs. In fact, I may have just killed a grant by accident because I asked if we can get it as an EV instead of a regular gas engine. Oops.
Yeah.
But so that is impacting the decision-making process already. And that's
great.
Yeah, and that's what the important thing that to your point, that's the whole purpose behind it.
Mhm.
And so, the thing that we were talking about was the senior vans. And I asked, and we just don't know if I'm too late in asking, but I said, if we can get it as an EV, doesn't that make more sense since it's doing so much local driving and a lot of idling because you're letting seniors on and off? It makes a heck of a lot more sense for us to do it as an EV and begin transitioning those vehicles into EV vans rather than gas vans. So those conversations are already being had, and your data just helps reinforce my position on it. And when I bring it to the department head saying, this is why we want that.
Good. That's really good. And then we still need to do the building energy audits.
I have an energy audit person that was recommended to me. I'm going to give it to Kira. Did I give it to you, Kira?
Yeah, you did send it.
I did?
Yeah, I think before the
It was right before the July 1st, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can put that on the docket to either reach out to them this week or early next week and just start the ball rolling there.
Yep.
But they came highly recommended from some folks who are involved with EFC for Environmental Facilities Corp. And they do the NYSERDA energy audits. So they believe that if we get in touch with them sooner rather than later, they may be able to get it to us for free.
Yes.
Using the state incentives.
So Kara, if I can help on that, let me know. I think it's real important to do the audits and get qualified people. One of the areas that was done years ago that wasn't done really well was the wastewater treatment plant. You can't have a person that just knows buildings go through a process plant like that. Mm-hmm. It's far more complicated. So we need somebody that can actually audit and make useful recommendations on the wastewater treatment and pumping. So I have a lot of background in all that technical stuff. So if I can help, just let me know. Be glad to.
In regards to the wastewater treatment plant, one of the things that I'm trying to get off the ground, our plant operator is actually retiring, and on his way out the door now, he's recommending that we look at putting solar panels as a ground mount over the plant, because one of the things we get cited for with DEC is the increased temperature when it goes through that filtering process. And that's simply because it's in this big wide open space that gets ton of sunlight. And so, his recommendation to me, he's leaving in about 10 days. But his recommendation as he's walking out the door now is to consider looking at a ground mount solar system, because it'll obviously provide renewable energy for either the town or our residents as a community solar project, but it will also serve an important feature, function by providing shade to the wastewater facility. So that actually is going to help with some of our DEC regs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know is that Martin that's retiring? Again?
No, it's Ed Mahoney.
Okay, I met him once. Yeah, whenever you pump water, you raise its temperature, the energy the pumps goes into the water. There's probably some evaporation that goes on in those digesters or whatever you call them, that's going to cool the water. So there's some heating and some cooling going on there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he understands it pretty well.
Yep. Yeah. So that was just another suggestion.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say was, Swarnoff, did we get any points for the composting program that we signed up for? Kira, do you remember if we put in for it?
I don't think
we put in for the program itself, is just like setting it up, since we still don't have the fully executed MIA. Yeah, IMA with
IMA, I think.
IMA. I was like, how did I say that? With the county yet. So we did put it in and try to provide as much like pictures and information that we have at the moment. But we put it in with the organic waste yard facility. But I think we can also use it for another, I'm just blanking on the name of it, but me and Robin were looking at it and it looks like it could go for another
great
thing.
The reason I bring it up is because the toters were delivered today. So
finally,
rock and roll.
Good.
I am planning maybe I'm trying to work with the team, but I'd like to roll this out in a pretty big way. So we're trying to figure out the right way to do it. I got the phone call about 4:45 that they were delivered today. So the toters are in. So our composting program, we can get off the ground next week.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm so stoked about this. So that's another big thing for us that we can be working on, from a programmatic and educational standpoint as well.
So my feeling, Swarnoff, we should certainly appreciate all the work that Kira and Robin did in terms of getting our application in, but I'm certainly not going to kick back and relax, because I think that there's a lot we can be doing, immediately on multiple fronts. I think that during the summer, people are out and about, and there are lots of events that are, scheduled to take place in July, August, September, etc. And I want the CSC to be as visible as possible. And so, if we're, going to give out toters, well, CSC should, be there as well. And, if we're going to be trying to sign people up for solar, we should be there. And if we're going to highlight, at the Eevee car show, well, I'm sorry, Matt, you'd suggested, I think, the Granite Knolls event, that, police night out, whatever it is, I forget the exact name of it. If the hybrid cruiser can be there, we should be there. And, however we can be visible and reaching different pockets of the community, I think we should take advantage of that. And
absolutely. And when I mean kick back and relax, it's summertime, it's figurative. Well, not to be taken too literally, but no, I completely agree that taking an aggressive approach, using the summertime when everyone's out and about to push community solar, drive more signups, that'll definitely play a huge part. I know we have something in the works with Sustainable Westchester on that side. And obviously the Eevee car show, I think that's a brilliant idea. And if there's other opportunities that are around climate centric folks in the town, I think we can definitely use those events as opportunities to have the CSC represented in different ways. So I definitely think from a community engagement standpoint, the
Mhm.
work doesn't stop there. And I do
And now we've
think
got a
it's,
beautiful banner.
I know that I think that might be the biggest win so far, right? Now we have something to show. It's not just 5 bodies that have to show up, which is awesome. And people will know where to find us. But I do think in terms of like action items, obviously we have things carrying over from the bronze site, like Matt mentioned, the energy audit. That's something that's going to get the ball rolling. And there's plenty of other actions on that list. I think what we may want to do is start to think through which one of those actions might have the lowest, again, capital cost to the town, given we're just getting out of COVID now, and see how we can leverage different grants that the state might have, be it NYSERDA, DEC, or other organizations. I know the EV charging stations was something really interesting that we have pending on our list. So
Brought off just as an aside, last week, we gave authorization for us to start applying to Con Ed to see how much they would actually cover. We didn't name anybody, but we wanted to see first if we're in the 90%, are we in the 80%, the 70%, so we did move that forward.
Awesome. So that's another ball that's moving, concurrently. So if we can continue to start to do more research, because I do think a lot of the high impact actions that we would look at on the CSC checklist side of things, at least. Obviously, CEC, we all need to kind of educate ourselves a little bit more into. But from a CSC standpoint, if we can find out what other grants and opportunities are out there from the state side to subsidize actions that the town wants to make, I think we need to start to build that kind of a priority list over the next month, so that we can start pushing forward into December, and hopefully this time next year we're ready to submit for silver. So that was like my general thought process in terms of action items. EV charging stations seems like something that is right now currently dependent more on Con Edison and what the grant and the subsidies are going to be on. From a building energy audit kind of standpoint, that's going to be dependent on what contractor comes back with, what the quotes, what grants might be available on that end. And I think obviously the community engagement side of things will continue to rock and roll. Speaking of which, I did forward you guys all a survey link from Naomi, the science research student that is trying to push forward that. That's another aspect of community engagement we can continue to push. So if you know anyone, friends, loved ones in the town, or people that you meet walking down the street, that's something that's going to be part of the CSC engagement process too, and might actually give us some useful data on how to effectively market to the town community solar, and find the individuals that it'll provide the best value to. So yeah, I think we have a lot of things cooking on that end. Is there any other action items that you guys had in mind?
I just had two. One was water conservation. I don't know if everyone's heard the news on that one, but there's a big push right now for water conservation through the Joint Waterworks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's something that we can build upon, but
there should be something in the CSC points wise too.
Yeah, and keep in mind that when we looked at the energy the town uses, water and wastewater was the largest single area.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe it's more of like an outreach to reinforce for residential water use, because that's where it seems to be focused on. But the way the projections were looking based on the heat we were having and going to have, plus the water production or lack thereof, we were on pace of our demand outpacing our supply. So that's something obviously we should, I think as a CSC would be, interested and focused on.
And a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago, we started under water restrictions, right? The even odd.
Started Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. Yep. Started this Monday. We released it last week to get people ready for it, but it went into effect on Monday. The even odd for outdoor watering. That's the biggest thing. The other thing, I don't know if we put this on the application or not. I just forget. but the magically NYSEG finished that LED streetlight program. That's done now.
Oh.
I don't know if we put in for that, Kira.
We didn't, because we need like full invoices paid and all of that. So
Right.
we will use that for silver.
There's more points for silver.
That should be a huge point one, actually.
Yep.
That's huge to know.
Yep, they installed them this past week, last week into this week. And we're trying to get actually the president of NYSEG to come down and do a little thing about it. So, from the CSD standpoint, you've got the launch of the composting, which is going to be a huge deal in this town. I think it's going to take off. And then you also have, the LED streetlight program that, we've been able to accomplish. I mean, those are two pretty big things for us to kind of celebrate this summer.
Another thing I'd like to bring up is just the planning for new construction and the stretch energy goal.
Yep.
So anything happening on the stretch energy goal, Matt?
So the short answer is no. The long answer is the presenter didn't do me any favors, unfortunately. Nice guy, really nice guy. Just was not the person who should have been presenting that. So I'm actually working with Nina over at Sustainable Westchester to see if we can take another shot at it. There are legitimate concerns that I'm hearing, though, about the cost estimates that were rolled out, especially because the cost of material right now is just sky high. And so that there's some legitimate concerns there, I think, about just how much more the implementation of the stretch code would cost. So we're trying to wrap our arms around that and just make sure that what we're saying is accurate, because they were saying it was only 1%, but it's 1% on top of what the increased cost of material is now. So that's actually going to be more. So that's, and like I said, the presenter really didn't do me any favors, unfortunately, when he brought it to the town board.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a long discussion to have, but I feel like we, even the stretch energy goal really isn't good enough. And some, the economics of this, honestly, by the time any of this stuff is built, I think a lot of these costs will be back by October, November, December. I think they're going to be sort of back to normal. So this whole thing is complicated, but what I would love to suggest is that just like we have this idea of, and I'm going to forget the zoning thing that you have. I can't think of the name of it.
The overlay.
Yeah.
The overlays. Thank you. So why can't we do overlay districts that have zero net energy or shoot for something further? Because even using the LEED standards or the stretch energy goal is still going to result in a lot of carbon emissions. And if we believe this is really a problem, we're just making the problem worse. So I guess I would say that I'm a proponent of anything we can do to make things better. But in Yorktown, one of the larger things we actually have going on, which is rare for Yorktown, is new building, right? And it's probably not going to happen again for years. I mean, this is a rare thing to have these few developments going on. And from what I can see, they're going completely, honestly, in my opinion, in the wrong way. They're not doing enough for the carbon output of these buildings and developments. But I think it's embarrassing what they're planning to do. So that's my view.
Noted. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So if we can have an option to talk to the town board about sustainable development, something like that. I've done some research on it. I feel like it's an area for significant improvement.
Would that be a conversation with town board, or would it be planning board, or?
It would probably be both.
Mm-hmm.
The planning board, though, isn't going to dictate material use. The planning board is going to dictate site plan. So that's I think the regulations itself would be more town board and building department. The reason I thought the stretch was the right thing to do, just rather than just focus on the overlay districts, is because we are seeing houses being built outside of the overlay districts. So you're still it's not a catch-all. You're actually going to be missing a lot of the things that are going on.
Right. Those are just certain hamlets.
Right.
and
I mean,
areas. Yeah.
All you're going to do is impact 2 hamlets rather than, catch the construction that's going on throughout town, whether it's, individual single family homes or whatever it might be. So that's why I don't, there are policies that people have floated, but I don't think just inserting them only into the overlay district is the right move if we're going to do it on a townwide basis to make sure that it doesn't miss anything. So, we can continue those conversations. Like I said, I've brought it to Nina over at Sustainable Westchester, and because they're trying to get their arms around this as well and start pushing this as one of their agenda items, and so I told her about our experience. I told her that I wanted to do it, but it just frankly the presentation just fell flat, and I got a lot of pushback from some of the board members about it after the fact. And so she understood what I was saying. So she wants to try to go in and work to try to come up with a better presentation to try to sell it to the public and to the stakeholders. So it's not as, I don't want to say controversial because it really shouldn't be, but so that it's better received.
Buildings is a great opportunity, and they are significant. I think it's about 30% of our total greenhouse gas emissions are from buildings. So anyway, if we can help with that, would love to, because it's, and the big ones we read about are the 2 in town. I was less aware of any significant homes being built in the area, but if there are, we should hit everything.
Well, I can tell you that there's discussions that go on 202, Shrub Oak, Jefferson Valley. I mean, where there's land they want to build right now. So it's
Yeah, there are parcels that, a 10-lot subdivision here, an 8-lot division there, all of those homes, right? If you had the code in place, those would be, in scope.
Yep. And then you got you go down Granite Springs Road, you go down to the corner of Gregory Street, you got 2 cleared lots there, you're going to miss those. So that's what I'm saying. There's much more construction than just in the, in the Heights Hamlet. So, I think it's important for us to make sure that if we're going to pass something that's so significant, that it actually be a townwide policy rather than just specific to individual hamlets.
Yep, we just got to do it before they build anything.
By the way,
gentlemen, I have to jump in.
Yeah, I have to jump too. My kids are out picking vegetables.
No, I just have to jump in as a builder. The town needs to be very careful as to how you dictate to what materials can and can't be used in a project. You need to incentivize as opposed to legislate. Okay, you need to be very, very careful, because the minute you take a project and make it more cost prohibitive, they move on to the next town. Okay, so just you need to be very clear on that. All right.
That was some of the pushback that I got from some of the board members as well. So I recognize. So we need to figure out what that balance is, and how do we incentivize but yet require and meet that happy medium and accomplish what we're looking to do.
Right.
Well, the right thing to do is at a broader level, but we're meeting at a town meeting right now. So we had dealt with this problem in IBM years ago, where people would be incented to move from one location or one IBM site to another because of financial things, which really weren't even real. They were what we used to call blue dollars. It was measurements. It wasn't real. And it would, the financial system would drive people to make bad decisions, basically. So we tried to put something in place that would level the playing field, if you will. But the thing to do with this energy stretch energy goal is just legislated as it's the requirement in New York State, because to have it optional in different towns is, to me, it's a big mistake.
Right. Well, I mean, as we've all been educated on already, they're already planning on updating the code, and the expectation is that the expectation, my understanding, was that most of the stretch energy was going to be incorporated into the state code. So it's coming one way or the other. So
it's coming, but it's going to be, again, % of reduction, as opposed, there's going to be like 20%, 10%. It's not going to be 100%. It's far from what we really need. Just got to say it.
Yep. But listen, I'd love to stick around, but like I said, I would say, getting at, my kids are out picking vegetables in our garden. So I'm going to go join them, but I did want to thank everyone, because getting the application in was a huge accomplishment for the task force and for the community, and genuinely thank you for your efforts and your commitment. I know how much effort you've all been putting into this, and Kira and Robin have been great assets for us to add to the team. And so just a big thank you. And we're not going to stop here. So we'll let everyone know when we're going to kick off the composting. I'm hoping sometime early next week. Love to have you all there. And then when we announce the NYSEG LED lights program, love to have you guys there as well. I think it's really important for the town to see the CSC play such an important role in all these initiatives as well.
And of course, thank you for your leadership and for taking the shots afterwards when something falls flat.
No,
Okay. You've been a great advocate for us.
Appreciate that. All right, everyone. Have a great night.
Enjoy your garden.
Thanks.
All righty, we'll see you.
Yeah, I gotta take care, Matt. I gotta go too, guys.
Have a good one, Keith.
Thanks. All right. Talk to you.
Alrighty.
So-
Well,
Sworn
if
off.
there's nothing, yeah.
Do we want to, you were talking about trying to prioritize next items and whether there was any low hanging or kind of initial things to focus on? Would it be
Yeah,
worthwhile?
I think the best way to do that is each of us take a look at it first, because I don't think any of the CSC action items actually show which have grants available for them. So the way I think we should be prioritizing in terms of actions isn't what we may think is easy to do. Like a building energy audit in theory could be, okay, hire a consultant that's quick and easy to get done. But in terms of getting the grant, like the EV charging stations, that may turn out to be the easiest action item for us if it actually works out that Con Ed subsidizes 100% or 90% of it. So why don't we make it such that in about a week or two, we all pop back in an email and we can jump into another call. But really, I think the core goal is each of us have to educate ourselves and see if we can find any grants that the town can apply for. Because if it comes free and it can come through a grant, then we can speed up the rate of which projects we focus on, because we can just sub it out to another contractor or a specialist. And then we can have like 15 different big projects going at once, which I think is going to be far more efficient to get us to silver, since I don't think there's any free action items we can bag in on, at least left on that list. Do you agree with that?
Sarah, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, that makes sense. And, we can utilize maybe our Slack channel. Kira, I can add you to that also.
Yeah.
Just in terms, and of course we've got our, Google Drive already.
So
But
Kira,
yeah,
what time are you
let's-
in the office tomorrow?
I'm sorry.
What time are you in the office tomorrow if I'm going to pick up that banner?
I'm going to bring it with me on Saturday.
Oh, that's right. You're going to bring it on Saturday. That's right. I forgot. Okay. Good. One less thing to do.
Sweet. So I guess I'll see you guys in the Slack and emails, and we'll rock and roll from there. And
So we're
now
going to be
it's-
in person at Downing Park on Saturday. And
right
at
for the
least-
EV car show. Right?
Well, no, Saturday is the Friends of Parks and Rec,
okay.
a family fun day. And we're sharing tabling space with Yorktown 100 and Sustainable Westchester at that event.
Okay.
And that's from like 9 to 1.
Okay.
So it's an opportunity for us to be visible. We'll also, of course, be promoting the EV car show the following day, and other activities. And then Sunday from 4:30 to 8:30 at the track is the EV car show.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I also wanted to mention that we've already laid the groundwork. I can't remember if I told you that, or maybe for the second EV car show, which will be at the JV Mall. It's probably the end of September. And I think that'll be an even larger event. We'll figure out how to run one of these things this time a little bit. We'll really be like a fine-tuned machine by the time September comes. But the
Yeah, and the
JV
positive of being at the JV Mall is there's no issue with space, right? They've got the huge parking lot area. We'll benefit from them promoting it, right? Putting it on their, website and Facebook page and all of that. It gives us plenty of time to publicize it, and we can have a wide variety of vehicles there, since we have plenty of space. And it's a great location in terms of being right next to the Taconic. So, we can draw people.
and it's near the Peekskill Brewery, from what I understand. So, yeah, no, I think it's going to be really great. So just want to remind you guys, we kind of already have the groundwork laid for the second one.
Hey,
Yeah, we
well,
should think about, other upcoming town events and community events that, that we do want to be invited to and be visible at and whatever, right?
Yeah, now we had put together, folks in Yorktown 100, a trifold brochure of things people can do to reduce their carbon footprint. So we'll be handing that out. I don't know if there's anything additional or separate that the CSC would want to do to promote, education amongst the town, but you certainly be, well, you'll get copies of what we'll have this weekend. But maybe we should have something else to hand out. I'm not sure what yet.
yeah, let's brainstorm in Slack and via email, and let's see how this weekend goes and see what people want and the kind of messaging that seems to resonate with people. And I think we'll get a lot of data this weekend that we can use to help better convey, the message of the benefits of, making even a simple switch like community solar, even amongst obviously all the other actions we're trying to push forward in the benefit of the climate in the town also. So yeah, we got exciting things coming up. So I don't have anything else. If that's the case, then I guess I'll see you guys in the email Slacks, and minimally I'll see you guys this weekend.
That'd be great if you can stop by. Yeah, Paul Moskowitz will be at even though he's not here tonight, he'll be at the Saturday event, I'm sure. And I don't know about Sunday.
Awesome.
So we'll at least have, the CSC represented in that regard.
Well, there you go. So I'll definitely try and swing by at least one of the events and at least say hi and hang out with the crew in person for the first time in over a year.
And Sunday you can listen to the the Journey tribute band at the
Hey,
concert.
that's interesting. I didn't even know that was happening. So that'll be exciting.
Free
you
concert.
You need a good singer for a Journey, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's facts. Well, I guess on that note, I will see you guys this Sunday or Saturday if I can make it.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
Sounds
Have a
good
good one, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.